Hello, cuties and patooties. I hope you guys are having a shmexy day. This will be the very first video on my channel. I'm gonna be honest, I low-key don't know what to call this channel, but I'm sure I made up my mind by the time I upload this video. And by the way, if you can subscribe and like, and if you're feeling a little naughty today and share the video to your butt buddies, that'll be very sexy and lit. Anyways, as you may know from the title, today's topic that I want to talk about, oh my god, hiccups, Jesus Christ, I just ate curry and I don't think it's like sitting well with my stomach. But anyways, I want to talk about is things I don't understand about Japan. Now, before you weaves immediately rush down the comments to defend Japan like this country took you in when you were off on the streets, to give you some of my lore, right? I was raised in Japan. Well, not really, but I was kind of raised in Japan. I go to university in Japan, and I'm planning to work in Japan after I graduate. And I lived in Japan for 10 years in 4 different provinces, and I can write and speak Japanese fluently. So I'm gonna be honest, I most likely have a more of an in-depth knowledge of Japan than majority of you, I would like to say. So please don't be mean to me in the comments. I will be very sad. Honestly, just comment whatever you want. That might help me with the engagement. I don't know, man. Do whatever the fuck you want. You do you, man. Alright, sorry. I got a little sidetracked. Anyways, today's topic that I want to talk about to hopefully moisten your loins is some stuff that I don't understand in Japan, even living here for more than 10 years. Final clarification, I do not hate Japan. First thing first, this is the reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. And that would be the use... Oh my god, my throat, Jesus Christ. And then the first time... Oh my... What the fuck? Is a use of government-issued ID when registering for a SIM card. Now, I have a love and hate relationship with Japanese SIM cards because unlike in America, where once you run out of data, you basically are fucked and you're kind of just subjected to pay more money. You can basically have an extremely fast data and have an unlimited data for like $20. It's great, but the registration process is actually doo-doo kaka wee wee. To give you some background, so prior to coming back to Japan, I did like a foreign exchange program to a university in America. Coming back from America, what do all self-diagnosed ADHD Gen Z person like myself needs to function properly? I'll give you a second. I'll give you a second to cook. All right, don't worry. Alright, I think that's enough time. And the answer is SIM card. When I was bestowed upon by the presence of some might call modern day Jesus, and what I would call my future husband, Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, this is my first video. I don't have any fucking subscribers or viewers. This isn't sponsored by my cutesy wootsy Ryan Reynolds. But you know, right, if you're watching this, I mean, like, I would take the money, but like at this point, a kiss from you would do great. Honestly, like I'll just take that. I use Mint Mobile and their SIM card, and then what's good about eSIM is all I need was to give Papa Ryan my credit card information and the wacky 4-digit numbers on the back. And, you know, Ryan personally came to my door and gave me a data so I can access all of the, information that I need on the internet. eSIM is hella, convenient. It's just convenient, right? In the great land of Japan, you need a government-issued ID to register for a fucking SIM card. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. This doesn't sound too bad, right? I get it. This does not sound too bad on the paper. You might be thinking, oh, since you came back from the land of having soda bottles that can quench the entire African village, you can just use your passport. Wrong! All right, you're wrong. Sorry. No, but you're wrong. In Japan, a lot of places do not take passport as a source of actual ID. The reason why, I don't know what they were cooking in the upper lands of the government. But recently, if your passport was issued after 2020, which mine was, they took out the column to put your address. So because you need to show that you lived in Japan, because I have a Japanese passport, majority of the places cannot accept passport as a legal form of identification. And why the fuck can I not use passport? So what the fuck is my passport for? So I can take this fucking piece of paper and wipe my... Sorry, I got a little heated. Now, I don't have a Japanese driver license because unlike in the what the fuck is a kilometer land, getting Japanese driver license costs a lot of money and takes actual effort to get, both of which I don't have. And to make the situation even worse, my wallet was fucking stolen before I landed in Japan. So I lost every single one of the government ID that I could use to get a SIM card. So I was stranded in this land without SIM card. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do when someone actually like approaches me? I can't run away to my trusty wusty weather app. You might be thinking, well, isn't that kind of your fault since you dropped the wallet? And to that I say, leave. This is not a place for a productive conversation. I just want to cry and whine, all right? And I know what you're saying is true, but fuck, let me use my passport, bro. Fuck. All right, part 2. This is about stamps. Now, again, I can tell what you're thinking, right? Stamps. What is this goober talking about? Like, you can stamp these nuts in your mouth. To give you some background information about the great land of anime girls that look like 3 but are actually 300 years old. You know how in America, or I don't know if it's the same in Europe or other countries, but you know how you use your pen or paper, pen or pencil, right? And sign when you're like given a contract? Yeah, in Japan, you can't do that. You have to have a fucking stamp as a way of signing shit. So instead of signing stuff, you have a stamp with your last name and you just stamp it, right? That's how it works. Now, this seems cool, right? Having a stamp is fucking annoying because whenever you go anywhere, where you know you have to like sign a contract, you have to carry the stamp, most likely a fucking pouch, so you don't lose this damn thing. And it's worse for me because I have a weird ass last name and I can't just buy it off the shelf. By the way, Japan have these like stamp stores, and you know how if you go to these like souvenir places like on Disney or something, like I don't know, like any other theme park, or those like special Coke bottles with random names on it. So they basically have that where they have preset last names, and if you have like a basic ass last names, you can purchase a stamp from these stores. But I unfortunately am the main character of this anime. Not only do I have to make a stamp specifically for my last name, which costs a decent amount of money, more expensive than like, you know, off the shelf one. But if I lose it, I'm basically fucked because I can't sign any contract for until I get a new one. And knowing damn well about myself, I will probably lose this shit even if this stamp was shoved up my ass. So I have to carry a little tiny baby pouch to go anywhere, which is just annoying. Like, let me sign shit, bro. Fuck. Like, this gets really bad when you're making documents on your computer. Because in America, you can just export the image or like the PDF, right? When you're making documents. And then, you know, you can just, if you have an iPad, you can just fucking sign it. Or you can just, you know, use a fucking Microsoft Paint, anything to sign it, right? But in Japan, you have to fucking print the document first, stamp that bitch, scan it again, and send it. Do you see how annoying this is? When you don't have a printer like me, it's really fucking annoying. Like, Japan literally have a fucking machine that will give better head than your mom or Belle Delphine, I don't know. But we are still stuck using a stamp instead of just signing. I thought having personal stamp was cute at first, but it's just straight up annoying at this point. Like, come on, bruh. Next one, handwriting. I get it. Alright, I get the last 2 parts with me just kind of bitching and complaining, but I think this is a pretty valid point that I'm making here. So in Japan, a lot of the shit is still analog. For example, right, our government got exposed for still using fax during COVID. And that's one of the reasons why our government couldn't respond as quickly. Because these old dinguses at the top of government refuses to change with time. Honestly, I can't believe I need to explain this, but I feel like the younger generation do not know what the fax is. And it's this machine where you basically scan a fucking paper and then you can just send it to other person with a fax machine. They can just print the original document sent by the original sender and they can just print it on their machine. I know, I understand. You can just do that over text or anything right now nowadays. But in the olden days, that was quite a rare technology. Anyways, one of the things that Japan still haven't changed is handwriting. Or writing with hands. Obviously, that's the fucking definition. All right, anyways, especially when it comes to essays. Again, Japan has a fucking machine that literally gives you head. But when it comes to writing essay, we still have to use our fucking hand. Like, come on, guys. We stopped using hands to jack off. Why are we still writing with our hands? Please. Sorry. Handwriting essay doesn't sound bad, right? Like, Again, I'm Asian. I've taken both AP Lang and Lit in high school. I've gone through the rows of try-harding in high school, or just school in general. I've written a lot of essays by hand. The difference between a Japanese essay and an essay that you write in AP Lang and Lit, I don't know, is that once you make a mistake, that's it in Japan. You have to get another paper and write everything all over again because they force you to write this shit with a pen. I know how in AP Lit and Lang, Oh my god, lit and laying. Jesus Christ. I don't know why that's so hard to say. But anyways, you can just cross it out, right? When you make a mistake. No, in Japan, they expect perfection when you're writing something. So it's like, it gets quite annoying. And like most of the time you see this like handwritten essays in Japan is when you're applying for university or like a scholarship. And if you're an average Joe like me, especially if you're an average Asian like me, you have to apply to a lot of school just to have a chance of getting in and competing with fucking people that cured cancer by the age of 9. You know damn well that how many essays you need to write to get it, for each of the school. Now, imagine that struggle, but you have to write every single essay with hand, with a pen, with 0 mistakes. I bet now you think that, this might be a little annoying. So when I was applying to university in Japan, I saw just so many of my friends just breaking down because they made a mistake with one fucking letter at the very last part of the essay. And they had to start over again. You know exactly when this shit happens. You're in a quiet room, all cramming your essays because you're just trying to apply to a lot of colleges so you have, higher chance of getting in. And someone just drops their pen and you can just see the total despair in their eyes. Their hopes and dreams just disappear from their eyes. Now, I thought I was out of this hellhole once I got into college. But recently, I was applying to this scholarship and I had to write 3 separate essays. And not only that, I literally had to submit around 15 different documents in like less than a month. Because for some reason, getting scholarship in Japan is harder than an average TikToker trying to be funny. In an instance where my livelihood depends on the scholarship and I'm trying to fucking finish all the necessary documents, the last thing I want to do is worried about handwriting an essay. And I feel like the old heads at the top keep the shit, keep the handwriting thing because, they think like, oh, handwriting show more effort. But I'm fucking Japanese, right? By the way, I'm not racist, all right? And no, it doesn't. Alright, let's be honest. I put the same amount of effort into these essays, even when I type or handwriting, because no matter what, I'm still putting 0 effort into these essays. Just give me the fucking cash, bro, so I can buy the machines that gives me head, please. But anyways, that's like the majority of the thing that I want to talk about. Again, I still have a lot of things that I don't understand in Japan. This wasn't everything, but I might talk about it if, I don't know, this video somehow gets any fucking views. Just to emphasize again, I do not hate Japan. I think all the shit that I've talked about here is also the reason why, Japan is so unique. How they integrate like really high-tech stuff while maintaining a lot of the traditional culture and practice. That's what makes Japan unique. All the things that I've talked about here is just me pointing out the stuff that I found interesting. There's a reason why I want to live here after I go through college. Even though some of these things confuse me, I still think this is just a vital part of what makes Japan unique and cool. Think of this video as like an input from a guy that lived in Japan. In America, for around the same amount of time, and maybe provides you with some inputs on Japan that other people may not talk about or notice. If you enjoyed this video, or if you got to this far, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. If you can just drop a like, or comment, subscribe, that'll be great. It'll just motivate me to make a higher quality video in general and probably like post more frequently. Give me some of that sweet positive reinforcement, baby. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Thank you. Bye.